All right, folks, the new Model Y is officially been announced in China. Robert Rosenfield can officially stop making videos. Robert, goodbye. And Sawyer Merritt is in sicko mode on X right now. I met Sawyer at the Cybertruck event. I'm convinced he's AI. I don't think he's one person. I think he's in multiple places at once. That's the only way he can get this information out there. But anyways, in this video, I am going to cover everything that we know currently about the Model Y, share my opinion on it, show you some things on the Model 3 that the Model Y has that this doesn't have, including a front-facing camera. That's one of the things that the new Model Y has. That was controversial that they didn't put that on the Model 3. It's only on the Cybertruck currently. I'm really happy they put that on the new Model Y, but let's get into it. I've got a little list here. So they're launching it in China. Deliveries will start in March in China. I'm thinking the US is going to get that in the beginning of summer, probably around June, kind of how the Model 3 performance was here, kind of that timeline. And then the performance model of the Model Y is going to be later in the year. I just chugged a kombucha and came out in the garage and started filming, so I'm a little screwed up right now. The biggest news with the Model Y, and what I love that Tesla's doing, they did the Foundation series on the Cybertruck. They are doing a launch edition of the Model Y. So that includes a rear liftgate badge, a puddle light badge, a door sill plate word mark, charging console word mark, vegan suede black interior. I don't know why they have to call it vegan suede, but that's what it is. And the all-wheel drive model comes standard with the acceleration boost, so 0 to 60 should be 4.2 seconds on that newer model. I guess it's 5.9 seconds to 60 on the rear-wheel drive version, and it's 4.2 on the all-wheel drive version. I'm not sure if the acceleration boost is already included in that 4.2, or if the acceleration boost is going to take it down to 3.7. I'll go to the comments for that, and maybe by the time this video comes out, Sawyer Merritt will have that sorted out for us. So I really like that they are doing a launch edition. That is probably going to cost more because of Tesla doing direct sales. You don't have to mess around with dealerships running up the prices of these vehicles. So it's really annoying to go to a dealership when a car like a Civic Type R is launched or something like the GR Corolla is launched. There's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 markups on these things, and you're like, I just want to enjoy this really cool car. Why do I have to get screwed over? So Tesla's way of kind of taking advantage of making more money on the vehicles as they launch is by doing a launch edition and adding some value to the vehicles, the badges, the boost, the vegan leather stamping, I don't know. All of that stuff adds value. It makes it a special car. And then you just go online, you press order, and you take delivery. You don't have to fight with anyone about the price, and I really like that. And then the price will come down in the coming months. So when I bought my Model 3, and this is something to consider for you guys, I know you want to get in the new car and you want to do it right away, just like I did, but I make YouTube videos, so I make money from making videos on these cars. I made hundreds of videos on these cars. Like there's something wrong with me, and I hope you don't have that same sickness. But I buy this right away because for my business, it makes sense. For you, if you're just a regular person, wait a little bit. I know Tesla won't like to hear this, but wait a little bit. I'm not employed by them. I can say whatever I want. I got 6.19% interest rate on this. That's the best you could get at the time. Now it's 0% interest on the Model 3s, and you can save yourself so much money. This was 2.75% interest. I just paid it off. I paid $3,000 in interest. I'm paying this off ahead of time, but you're literally going to save yourself thousands of dollars just by waiting a little bit. You'll also see different versions of the car come out. It'll be all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. Then there will be performance, and then they'll probably add in a long-range rear-wheel drive. So they're going to add in all of these different features. So just sit back and kind of see how it plays out. If one comes out and you're like, that has everything I want, make your purchase, make the move, buy it in cash, do whatever, finance. Just make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. Let's get back on track here. Page 2. So there's 2 wheels that are coming with this. There's a 19-inch black base wheel, and there's a 20-inch Helix 2.0 wheel. I also saw things on Twitter. It was like there's a base wheel with a hubcap, and then there's a 19-inch Helix wheel. So it could be 2 19s. I think it's a 19 and a 20, though. I think the new wheel covers look atrocious. So for wheel cover companies, this is a good thing. I actually think the outgoing wheel covers started to look really good. I currently have the unplugged performance UPO3s on mine, which is a good looking wheel. Also, this video is sponsored by INTOTHEAM.com. I'm wearing their waffle weave hoodie, and I got nothing underneath, so it's keeping the nips fresh. You see they weren't hard, right? Yep, not hard, a little hard. But if you go to INTOTHEAM.com, use code Gjeebs, you'll save 10% off of your purchase. I got their athletic shorts on. I'm dripped out head to toe and Into the AM. This waffle knit hoodie is amazing. Check them out, INTOTHEAM.com, linked in the description. So the two different types of wheels, kind of similar to what we currently have. The other big news, let's go to the interior of my Model 3 for this big news here. Because it's big, I mean really big. Look at Melania, she's beautiful. Okay, so interior of my Model 3 here, no shift stocks, okay? The new Model Y is going to come with a turn signal stock. So it will just have one on the left side here, and it will not have these buttons that the Model 3 has. And that is one complaint I have about this. I've had this for about 7 months now, and I'm used to hitting the buttons. It's just quicker to be able to tap something back here. So they took customer feedback, and you will have a turn signal shift stock, but that will be the only shift stock on this. So I think these buttons will look similar over here, and you'll be able to customize and configure them to whatever works for you. But I think it was really smart that they put that turn signal shift stock over here. So I'm pumped about that. It will have the ambient lights, just like you can see in the Model 3, so that's good. And also the center console on the Model Y will look very similar to this, almost identical. Seats will be slightly different. Again, we cannot, this is a performance model, so we don't actually know what the Model Y performance seats will look like. I'm sure they're similar to this, but overall, interior of the new Model Y is going to be similar to this, but with little updates, and the biggest one being the turn signal. The other thing I love about the new Model Y is you can see here on the old one, you have these little slits. These are going to be more accentuated on the new Model Y, kind of like my performance model. These slits do not come on the non-performance models, and it just adds so much more width to the front. It's a much sportier look. So these are essentially going to be elongated on the new Model Y. Also, the light bar looks incredible. I kind of assumed the new Model Y was just going to have these lights and look very similar to this, but a front light bar is really cool. It's a futuristic look, kind of Cybertruck or Cyber Taxi. It kind of looks like that, so I think that is a really good update and a way to differentiate the Model Y from the Model 3, because forever these just looked so similar, so now they are going to be significantly different coming up the road. There are also 5 different colors on the Model Y. So the pearl white multi-coat like we have here will stay. This is satin PPF wrapped, so that's why it looks a little different. It will come in glacier blue, which is totally new and beautiful. Stealth gray, quicksilver, and ultra red are the 5 colors. It will also come in black, but that's in certain markets. I'm not sure which ones. Again, it's so early, and most of you guys are from the US, so we gotta wait and see what they're actually going to bring us here. And one of the coolest things is the new model is 11 pounds lighter. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, and it isn't, but the fact that they are bringing out a new model and it weighs less than the previous generation is huge, because cars just keep going up in weight, and I just wanna see them come down in weight for the way they can handle and accelerate the efficiency. Everything about a car being lighter is good, and I'm just really happy to see that they actually announced that it is 11 pounds lighter. Now, one of the letdowns for me is it's only going to have 3% more range. And I just thought that we would be much further ahead than where we currently are in terms of battery technology and range and energy density. I just thought at this point we would be a lot further ahead. With that said, electric cars really only became viable and maybe really popularized when the Model 3 came, not viable, but they became popular when the Model 3 came out in 2017, 18, 19. And so I just felt that we would be a lot further ahead, but I also have to realize that we are still at the very beginning of EV technology. I'm just kind of disappointed that this isn't like a 400-mile car that I thought it was going to be. So it's not there yet. It's still an increase in range, and the new suspension on it is going to make it ride quieter. It's going to have the acoustic glass that the Model 3 currently has on all of the windows to make the interior better. Everything about it is going to be good. It's going to feel more agile. So everything that they've fixed on the Model 3 that now makes it comparable to like a Mercedes-Benz C-Class, a BMW 3 Series, and things like that in terms of ride quality and quality of the materials on the interior. Those are all going to be carried over to the Model Y, but I think the Model Y is going to even take it a step further in some of the pictures that they've revealed online. The new Y will also keep the same peak charging rate. So again, this is a 2020 Model Y, has a peak charging rate of 250 kilowatts. It will have the same peak charging rate. I thought maybe they would have the 800 volt system and split the pack and give us some fast charging, but that's not going to happen. Another update that they've made is there's a button in the back that is going to make the seats power up and down. So right now you press this button and the seats fold down, okay? And now these buttons in the back here that are illuminated to release the seats, those will be power up and down fully. So this is actually a pretty heavy seat back when you go to lift it up. And you know how everyone is nowadays. These are weak people. Everyone's weak, so they can't lift those seats up. So Tesla said, well, we got to help these people out. We're going to make it powered. So adding technology, doing all of these things that they're doing, and the car is still 11 pounds lighter than this. This is around a 4,400 pound car. That's pretty good. Also, as far as people saying EVs are heavy, they are heavy. They're very heavy if they're poorly engineered. And the Model Y weighs about as much as a Porsche Macan. So I've always thought that that was pretty impressive, but it is nice to see the weight coming down. The other thing that is updated is there's going to be a screen in the back of the new Model Y. So in addition to that screen, you've got this one. And it actually looked like from the pictures that I saw that the screen in the back of the new Y is wider than this one. I think this one is about 8 inches diagonally, and so the new one seemed like it was a little bit wider. It would surprise me though, because that would be an additional part that Tesla has to use. But again, that's something that we will find out in the near future. All right, so I just jumped on Twitter and Sawyer Merritt is firing off tweets again. Also, if you don't follow him, he does an excellent job reporting in general EV news. He does a really nice job with Tesla, but he's fired off some more information. The new Model Y will have 16 speakers, which is up from the 14 speakers that the current Model Y has, and the coefficient of drag has been reduced from 0.23 to 0.22. So again, very impressive. Now people have complained that these look like eggs and things like that, and I get it. But what Tesla tries to do when they are manufacturing an electric vehicle, and they do it better than anyone, is they're not trying to just slap a big battery in it and say, look, it gets all this crazy range. They're trying to put in the least amount of battery, make the car as aerodynamically efficient as possible, and squeeze everything out of the vehicle. GM just came out, you know, GM has the Hummer and the Denali Sierra EV and all of that stuff, and those are cool, but those are, the size of the battery in those is 2 Model S batteries. It's actually more. So it's like 2.5 Model S batteries. And Tesla is being smart in how they're manufacturing everything. They're trying to make the battery pack as small as possible while delivering on range that will actually be usable to people. And I think the other thing is, with only having 3% more range, Tesla has enough data at this point to say, okay, you can get basically anywhere in the United States and be fine because our supercharger network is so good. And outside of that, there's other chargers that you can use. But you can get basically anywhere. And most of you aren't doing cross-country crazy road trips like, you know, we do videos on. It's mainly just local driving and you're charging at home. So that's why I think Tesla isn't going overboard on trying to maximize the range. They could just increase the battery size and do that. But I think the data shows that most of the driving's around town, and when you're on road trips, it's not actually that bad because the supercharger network is so good. I will have my Tesla referral link in the description if you want to get a discount on your Tesla. If you want to get a discount on your Tesla, you will save $1,000 off. I'll have my Rivian referral link. You'll save $750, and I'm working on a big video on my Model Y. So click right here, check this out, the long-term ownership review of my Tesla Model Y to see what I think of it. I will be purchasing this Model Y as soon as I can, so make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you soon.